All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. We have an awesome show for you today. Today, we are talking about the importance of staying focused. Okay. And, the inspiration for this message is the message I saw yesterday that Pastor Dow did for the last great day, for the Feast of Tabernacles. Definitely a good lesson, as you know. After the Feast of Tabernacles, after the last great day, we we are officially in the dead season. And a lot of people might be like, well, what are you talking about, the dead season? The dead season is the season. It's called the dead season because during this season that we're in now, nothing grows. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is the season where, you know, from an agricultural standpoint, things die off. Um, the leaves on the trees fall off so new leaves could come forth. Um, and this is what should be happening to people spiritually too. There should be a purging and a development going on with people in this season now. In our assembly, in the Straightway Studio Assembly or Straightway Nashville Assembly, whatever you want to call us, I tell the brothers and the sisters here, the dead season is the busy season for us. Whether it's economically or spiritually, uh, brothers and sisters are highly encouraged to be busy, to stay busy. Okay. Um, now, uh, in order to stay busy, you need to stay engaged. You need to stay focused, whether spiritually or economically, however you want to put it. You have to stay focused, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, because the message that Pastor put out yesterday, man, there were a lot of good points made, very stimulated my spirit into bringing out some of the stuff I'm going to be bringing out today, because there's a lot of distraction. They call, one of the names they have for the current economy, or they have a phrase for it. They call it the attention economy, with social media. Um, the value of attention over the last, I guess, 10 or 12 years or so has actually surpassed like the value of oil and other natural things on earth. It's a very valuable commodity, is your attention. Um, and when you look at it from uh, a biblical perspective, uh, attention is, you know, the drive and the desire and the push to grab people's attention. And you look at end time prophecy, it lines up, because a lot of people, man, their attention isn't there. You know what I'm saying? Their focus isn't there, and it's critical to stay focused, especially in this season here. Going into the dead season, there's a lot of distractions. It's an election year. There's a lot of things out there to get you off your spiritual path and the path you need to be on. So with that said, let me see if I could grab some of my notes here, and we're gonna hit some things. Okay. So the currency in life is time. Okay? That is the currency in life. It is time. Um, so what I wrote here is the currency in life is time. How much do people, places, and things cost you? How much of your time is consumed by people, places, and things? And we're going to go through some things that, you know, because the people, places, and things are there, they vie for your time. And is that time wasted, or is that time utilized in a constructive, valuable way? You know what I'm saying? So that's something you got to ask yourself. Let me over here. Yeah, I got a lot of little notes to go through. Let's see. So what needs to be asked? Stay in a righteous disciplined person. So what we have to begin to look at, and what it comes down to is, and you've heard pastors say this before, is being laser focused. Okay, and the more locked in you can be, the better. The more diffuse your focus is, the the worse it's gonna be. We do a lot of work uh, with cameras, as you know, with our business, and one of the things to think about is like, what does it take to keep a camera focused? Okay, because I think a lot of people, you hear that word focus, and you know, people hear it all the time. They don't think much of it, but really to let's look what it takes just to keep a camera focused, let alone a person, and then let alone to keep a person focused spiritually. Let's look at what it takes to keep a camera focused. Lens quality, that's the first thing. You know, you want a high quality lens, and the lens capable of focusing on whatever you want to focus on. Aperture, that's the amount of light that's allowed to come into the camera. The more light, the better. You know, the better quality picture. Shutter speed, that's how much light's allowed to hit the sensor. You know, you have to actually adjust the focus to get it just right so everything's not blurry. Distance, whether the camera's shaking or not, that comes in it. So there's a lot of factors that go into keeping something focused and locked on. Well, it's the same spiritually, and this is why to focus spiritually, you, and hold on one sec. Okay, so to stay focused spiritually, you need, your focus needs to be very precise. You want to focus on the smallest thing. One of the things Pastor was talking about that was in his message yesterday, that was really one of the highlights to me for the message yesterday, and really resonated with me on a deep level, was where he was talking about, and this thing is not hard to focus, but people get distracted. But what he was saying is, if people aren't speaking according to the word, then that should automatically be a red flag to you. Okay? And I would even go as far to say, if people aren't let me move this over here. So I would go as far to say, if people are not, because when I say speaking according to the word, I'm not talking about these phony people. Oh, bless you. Oh, thee, thou. Oh, holy is thou. Yes, thou. And all this kind of this religious speech. To me, that's a red flag. Because nobody, really talks like that. And when I say nobody really talks like that, in the heat of the moment, that's when you see who's who and what's what. You know what I'm saying? In critical, difficult situations, that's how you know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But when I say communicating and talking and how their speech is, I'm talking about how they're moving, and to kind of put in terms their action. That the word I always use, their footwork. How do they respond in certain situations? You know what I'm saying? What's their speech in certain situations? I can't tell you the number of people, man. You see it all the time. As soon as some type of situation happen and ain't going the way they want, the whole Bible goes out the window, and it's just carnal. And then when the smoke clears and Shabbat comes back around and they're around all the saints, they the holiest one. Boom, 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 boom. But when it's trench warfare time, and the lights are off and nobody's around, and it's just you and that temptation or whatever Satan puts in front of you, it's like these people, man, I have seen it over and over again. They choosing Satan every single time. So we have to be focused on, on the Most High. Let me pull up a scripture here. Joshua, one of my favorite scriptures. And in the book of Joshua, it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy ways prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." So it's telling you to meditate on this word day and night. Not to meditate on what somebody else did day and night, or somebody who pissed you off, or meditate on video games day and night, or meditate on movies day and night. It's telling you meditate on book day and night. And there's a lot of distractions out there. You know what I'm saying? But and what I see, a lot of people are having trouble discerning righteousness from evil. It looks like from what I discern, a lot of people, there's people out there wrestling with this thing when it's so simple and so straightforward. When you look at footwork, it's like you see people on YouTube and their whole channel is based on another man day and night. It's like, you know, like this video I'm making right here, this focus video. In order for me to make some of these videos, like I'm thinking on this. This is stuff I'm working on. This is stuff I'm thinking about for days. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's biblical stuff that I try to meditate and think on. You know what I'm saying? Because you want this to consume you. It said meditate on it day and night. I can't meditate on what somebody did to me or how somebody hurt my feelings or whatever it is. You can't do that. But like I said, a lot of people are falling astray to people who, it looks like they've made it their whole life to just focus on the negatives of another person. And people being led astray by that. And this thing has been dragging out for months. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if those are the videos someone's making, then look, this is warning to them. Hey, you need to meditate on the word, not on how a perceived wrong that was done or something. The Bible says forgiveness. Don't hold on to that stuff. That stuff will mess you up. Y'all put a 100 in the comments if you get what I'm saying. If y'all got any questions, put them in the comments also. It's because I'm telling you, we coming in a critical time. And let me pull up some of these what I've done and my nucleus of brothers and sisters, what they're doing. Our thing for this dead season is, man, we're eliminating anything that's not essential. We're not focusing on it. If it's non-essential, we're not focusing on it. We focusing on book. We ain't focusing on internet drama. We ain't focusing on people who are walking disorderly. Like literally, we slicing it off and we're getting laser focused. And you know, that this is the way you have to move, because it's just there's so many distractions out there. Let's see. And the thing is, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will prioritize it for you. Some other person, place, or thing will prioritize your life for you if you don't get what I talk about, Ben, is be ruthless with your time. People should be upset with you on how you move sometimes with your time. If you're not doing, if people aren't getting upset, if people don't get upset because of how ruthless you are with your time, you're probably not focused. You're probably a distracted person. And it's like, in this day and age, people are extremely distracted. And, you know, you see a lot of people are busy and they run in 20 different directions. And, you know, it's just a lack of focus, man. And it's crucial. Because what did I say earlier? Your most valuable commodity, or whatever you want to call it, is your time. And people will straight up waste it. And what does the Bible tell you to do? Why were you allocated all this time? To do what? To work your salvation out with fear and trembling. You see what I'm saying? So for what you have to be, the Bible tells you be vigilant, okay? For your adversary, the devil, walk around as a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. So you have to be very vigilant about who or what is consuming your time, because you're called to work your salvation out with fear and trembling. That's why you allocated this time. And what does Satan want to do? He want to have you wasting that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see what else we got here. So one of the things that I see, I've been doing this thing for a couple years, and I watch people who they basically neglect themselves. They don't pour into themselves. They don't take time with themselves. They don't wake up in the morning and pour into themselves. Take some time to just like read the word and think about it and all that, and get away from people and this, a lot of people spend their days like out of their head. They're not there. They're like trying to do this for this person, trying to do that because they need to get this done, and trying to do this instead of like me. I am quick to, I could discern in my spirit when, hey, I'm going in too many different directions, and I will stop, write stuff down, get it all out of my head in front of me so I could think clear. So I'm not, I'll do that spiritually too, where I'll do a spiritual brain dump on paper, write it all out there, think about what I'm thinking, what's going on, boom, get it all out, and begin to do some research on, hey, what's going on here? How I need to work on this, that, and other. Literally taking time to not just kind of mindlessly follow the Most High or try to act like I'm paying the book. Okay, I read a chapter. Boom. No, actually putting in the work to break down the strongholds, stuff like that. Okay. All right. Let me see what we got here. We're gonna get this thing rolling. We're gonna get to plow. Like I said, if y'all got any questions, definitely put them in the comments there. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm gonna go back and check them out. So, a Bible verse that in that lesson Shep did yesterday that definitely hit good, and that, I mean, a lot of people, man, they need to implement this. I would almost say in a ruthless way. It said it was that Second Thessalonians. So let me pull that up. I got that somewhere around here. All right. Let's see. So the verse is Second Thessalonians 3:6. It says, "Now we command you, brethren, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walk disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us." And what's that tradition? The word, according to the word. Y'all know how it is. There's protocols in the word on how you need to function in every aspect of your life. And when you see people not walking in accordance with that, it's telling you right there, withdraw yourself. Because, again, I got to say it again, what is your main focus? being obedient to these scriptures. And when you're around other people that are being obedient to them, it makes it easier for you to be obedient to them. When you're around other people who are working their salvation out with fear and trembling, it makes it easier for you to work your salvation out with fear and trembling. But when you're taking things in that are contrary to that, it's going to make it harder for you to work your salvation out with fear and trembling. So this is a good verse where it's telling you, withdraw yourselves from people who are not going in accordance to what this book's saying. Why? Because if you're around someone like that, you're taking in through auditorily and visually, you're taking in unrighteousness. And it's so subtle and gradual. Then next thing you know, you sitting there struggling and fumbling and not being obedient, and Satan creeping in on you. It's not hard. Like, whatever you consume, you become. No matter whether, well, I don't want to do that. I don't care if you don't want to. It's just the law, the way things work. And it's not just people, it's places and things too. It's a lot of people watch a lot of television. They're watching more media, whether it's social media or mainstream media. They're watching more media than Most High. And they're wondering why they're struggling with stuff. When the book is plain, we read from Joshua where, let's go back to it. I'll read it again. We read Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, where it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. This thing isn't complicated. And everything this society does, whether it's the social media, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's people that Satan will send across your path to try to get you distracted, whether it's places, things, you name it, everything is working to undermine what this verse is saying right here. Because you've been ordered that this book of the law, that you've been ordered to meditate on this thing day and night. In Psalms 119, chapter 119, verse 97 says, Oh how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day. He's meditating on that thing. And that don't mean walk around like, but like, I'm doing work. I'm working on stuff during the day, doing business stuff, whatever. But when there's a pause in it, I'm thinking on the word. I'm looking at something in the word. Do I watch movies? Yeah, I watch movies. But when you really get to meditating on the word day and night, and you get in the habit of doing that, and then, you know what I'm saying? It begins to take hold and become who you are. Anything contrary to that will immediately prick your spirit. You'll be like, ooh, that's off. Whether it's a contrary person or some video or whatever. But this is where that being vigilant part comes in, because Satan is always trying to find a way in to get you out of focus. So you're not seeing right. And once you're out of focus, you ain't walking. Now you ain't walking according to the way you need to walk. And what the word's telling you and is showing you what you need to do to stay locked in. It's nothing magic. It's nothing complicated. It's just a simple thing of being diligent and just not mindlessly going through stuff. It's telling you meditate on this word. And anything contrary to it, remove it. Remove it from you. Remove it from your life. Step away from it. And again, I got to come back and say it again. I like what Shep said in that message yesterday where he was like, you'll be around. Just because somebody part of straightway, that don't mean they, look, that don't mean they God's gift to the world and they some righteous person. You got to try the spirits by the spirits. You got to discern them. And look, if they not talking according to that word, if they not moving according to that word, man, I'm telling you, I'm quick to exit stage left. Boof. Because, you have to value your peace. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, Satan is a deceiver. He deceives. So it's not going to be all obvious where somebody's like sitting there like some Satanist talking against the word. No, people will sit there quoting book and all this stuff like that and won't do it. They won't do nothing they're saying. They're literally, I've seen people quoting the Bible verses that, whether they realize or not, that they do not do. And knowingly do it. And why? Because look, they don't like the word. They don't like Yah. Like there are some evil people masquerading around as saints. And nobody's perfect. I'm not saying Michael Israel's perfect. There's stuff I'm wrestling with in the word that I'm learning to, look, I need to do this because this is off in me. I got to get this in order, in line. Like I actually made this is before the feast, a couple weeks before the feast. I put together a whole list of verses that I got to study that cut me to pieces. But here's the difference. You have people because things are subtle. You got people, they'll just kind of subtly just kind of blow it off and talk around stuff that they know they need to fix. And a lot of people are used to that. They're used to, because that's the way of the world, to just be, oh yeah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know I messed this up. It is what it is type stuff. And that's how they take the word. But what they're really saying is, I ain't changing that. Man, I see it all the time. Like me over here, I'm constantly trying to, I feel like I'm in a race trying to get myself right. Like, and I'm racing against time to do it and not get distracted and all this stuff like that. Like, that's just the way my mindset is. And I surround myself with people who have that same mindset. And then when the people come around who don't, and again, Satan is a deceiver. A lot of these people, they just, like, y'all don't, man, if I could articulate this correctly so y'all could receive what I'm saying, understand, because like I see people who in their mind, literally walking in righteousness is walking in the deception. And I hope, like, I'm gonna try to unpack that the way so you could understand what I'm saying. Like they'll willingly quote and say this, the deceptive, wicked stuff that's subtle, and not even realize that it's deceptive, wicked stuff and it's subtle. It's not the real thing. Like, some people are that far removed. And what it is, it's a form of Christianity. It's a form of religiosity, because like, and some examples of that, like you see people, they do the easy surface stuff. Like they could praise, they could worship, they could do all this stuff, which that's easy to do, especially when you're around the saints. But again, like I said earlier, when it's time to do that painful stuff, when it's time to get in the furnace of affliction, because I was talking about this with me and Sister Corey were talking about this earlier. When it's time to get in the furnace of affliction and be at peace, and not have a carnal reaction when you're in the furnace of affliction, you see what I'm saying? When it's time for that, that's when you know who you're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, when they get in the furnace of affliction, their behavior is you can almost predict it on a carnal level. And what stands out is when somebody gets in that furnace of affliction and they take it with the right spirit. Let's pull up that verse real quick. I'm gonna pull that verse up and read it so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But this is part of, again, making sure you are actively staying focused. You are dying daily. Like people don't want, man, people are trying to feed that carnal person and keep his ass on life support. You know what I'm saying? The flesh must die. You got to starve it. And it dies in a furnace of affliction. But man, people, they don't want to kill it. Man, they're not comfortable being uncomfortable. Man, listen. I'm getting ready to break this down for y'all good. But because it's not, don't think I'm like anything special. I get mad, frustrated, be wanting to be vengeful and do stuff. And I'm gonna tell you probably what the difference is between me and you, or me and somebody who's wrestling with their carnal nature. I'll get in that state, in that emotional state, and I won't try to rush to get out of it. I won't rush to get out of that emotional state. Instead, I'll sit there and observe it. A lot of people rush to get out of that wicked, carnal, emotional state by what? Reacting carnally to it. So now they can get that tension out of their chest or whatever they're feeling. Me, I sit there and I watch it and I observe it and I process it. Because what? You want to know what happens when you're hyped up in those carnal, emotional states? You want to know what happens? You're on display. The wicked side of you is on full display for you to observe, so you know exactly what you need to be working on. Like some people got fear operating in them. Some people got anger. Some people got this, rebellion, pride, you name it, operating. And it's on full display so that you can properly target it and hit it if you're able to sit patiently and calmly in that furnace of affliction. Check this out. Furnace of affliction. All right, hold on. We're going to pull this up. I'm going to read it, and we're going to get granular with it. Let's get the whole thing. So we're reading in the Apocrypha, Sirach, Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, set your heart aright. This means focus. Get focused. Meditate on Yah. Get focused. And it says, and constantly endure. What does it mean to constantly endure? It says constantly endure. Endure means suffer something painful or difficult patiently. That's what it means to endure. And I see a lot of people that don't have the endurance. Look, I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect. I'm working on building my endurance. Like, I done shifted some gears and made some moves, y'all, over the past couple days, or not past couple days, past couple weeks, where, time will show. You know what I'm saying? But it says, suffer something painful or difficult patiently. So we're going to read it again. Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and listen, and make not haste in time of trouble. And this is where the problem's at. In times of trouble, when that furnace of affliction is turned up to burn the byproducts off you, you make haste and you jump out with all the byproducts on you, with all the impurities on you. And you don't let that furnace of affliction, those difficult situations, work out the things that you need, cleaned off you or whatever. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last. It's telling you to, when you're in these situations, cleave to the word. Y'all did, like it. And so this goes back to what I just said. When you're in a time of infliction, a time where you need to endure, when you're in an emotional state, when your carnal nature is battling you and everything, there's two major things that are happening here. Number one, you're on full display. If you choose to humble down and look at yourself, you're on full display. But the other thing is, if you endure and you don't make haste in these times of trouble, you will have a thirst for the word and for Yah's truth like no other time. If you begin looking in that, so you're in this situation, you're emotionally charged, okay? Your feelings are acting up, or whatever you want to call it. And instead of jumping out, you observe, oh, okay, I see. I'm fearful. Let me get in this word and see what this word says about fear. Y'all, you're gonna drink that up, and it's gonna quench your thirst so thoroughly, like it couldn't do in a peacetime when you're thinking everything's good. You see what I'm saying? Because again, this is how you need to move in times of trouble. But what do you see out there all the time? People will get in their feelings and they just get full vent to their feelings. Like I said, I'm watching people go on marathons doing videos about somebody who did them wrong or whatever, or who they perceive did them wrong, whatever you want to call it. Instead of getting on that book, look, listen. I promise I could do this. Like, I promise I could turn this channel and I could focus on negative things or things that were done to me that weren't done right, and just get malicious and try to tear shit up. It's easy to tear shit up, y'all. Y'all know how simple that is? It's easy to be a wrecking ball. But try to be a framer or a concrete pourer or electrician or something. It takes years. You could demo a building in a matter of seconds with dynamite. But it takes months to build a building up. Years sometimes to create a building. And the Most High is telling us to get ourselves right. Check this out. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Listen to this. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. No, take it angrily. No, take it vengefully. No, take it spitefully. No, it's telling you whatsoever is brought upon you, it tells you to take it cheerfully. And it also tells you, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. It tells you to be patient. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. Well, what is adversity? And it's telling you to take all this stuff patiently. Difficulties and misfortune. Okay? That's what adversities are. What is misfortune? An unfortunate condition or event. Are you going to take this righteously? How did Christ, when he was sacrificed, how did he take that? Was he like, them Pharisees, them Pharisees, this, that, and the other, or them people that he got up there, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All right, check this out. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Okay? Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. So this is taking the high road, you know what I'm saying? Type stuff. Turning the other cheek type stuff. Now check this out. I'm gonna tell y'all something that happened. I tell the saints about it. I was at work. So with me, my military career, a lot of my military career, I was stubborn. I bucked against authority. I couldn't understand what was going on. And nearing the end of my military career, the Most High started dealing with me. And he showed me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he used the rod on me, not the staff, to wake me up because it was painful. But just to keep it brief, he basically showed me, hey, when somebody tells you something to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, that's a military way, but I'm telling you, I was under the curses of Israel in a major way when it comes to that rebellion, you know? And he showed me that lesson. Y'all know the Bible verse I read all the time, servants, be obedient to your masters, even the froward. Because, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but what that scripture goes on to say is, it's not a big deal if, you know, if you're buffeted or rebuked for a wrong and you did do it and you take it, you know, righteously, that's no big deal. But when you're buffeted and you did something wrong, or you're accused of something wrong or whatever, and you did not do it, but you still take it in a spirit of meekness and humbleness and righteousness, then he said that is thankworthy because, and then it goes on to talk about the example of Christ. So anyway, I remember this supervisor, once I learned all this, and then I got another job, and I implemented all this stuff that I learned on that job that I got. And that the job I got where I was walking in righteousness from the very beginning on that job, once the Most High woke me up to all this, I mean, I was blessed and highly favored. Might I say that people say on that job? I did have favor there. It was amazing. It was impressive. But I had a supervisor who, and he had a reputation as one of the most difficult supervisors. He put a lot of people out the gate. He got a lot of people fired. Now this is a federal job I had, and he came out of his office and got up in my face and was telling me about something I did wrong, pointing in my face, and all this stuff. And what he was telling me and wanting me to do was wrong. And then he got done, and I said, "Yes, sir." And he went in his office, and I went over there, started doing what he told me to do. Quietly, feeling no type of way, at peace. Because again, that scripture that I just quoted earlier where I said, servants be obedient to your masters, even the froward. Froward means difficult or evil or ones that are difficult to deal with or whatever. I was walking in that because I know Yah's is the truth. So anyway, I did what he started doing, what he was saying to do, doing it. He came back out of his office. He was like, "Michael, I'm so sorry. You were doing that right, and I came out here and got in your face." He's like, "And you didn't even do nothing." He's like, "I'm sorry, man." And after that day, from that day on, he never really bothered me. And everybody in the shop was like, "Michael, why are you his favorite?" And this, that, and the other, and all that. But that's nothing. The amazing thing was, there was somebody in a cell over from me watching the whole thing. They watched the whole thing transpire. And after he came out the second time and apologized, went back in his office, that dude came over to me. He was like, "I don't know what that was, but I want that. I want to know what was that?" And I was like, "Bro," I said, all I'm doing is book." Like, and I showed him the scripture, and I said, "Read this," and he read it. I was like, "That's what I do. That's what the Most High delivered me from. So I walk in that." I was like, "So," and the dude who had came over there is constantly going back and forth with that supervisor, and I was like, "So that's what you need to do." And I looked at him, and I could kind of see it in his face. He was like, he wasn't wanting none of that. Like, he wasn't wanting to jump in that furnace and get that type of affliction. You see what I'm saying? But the lesson in that whole story I told is, this is how you can be a powerful testimony, an example of Yah's word. Not doing what everybody do. Something happens and you get in your feelings and respond. That's a dime a dozen. Everybody does that. Like, and I get the same. I know what people are doing. Like, I'm human too. I get the exact same emotions and feelings and temptations you get. I've just deadened them and killed them in a way where they don't overtake me and control me and cause me to react in a lot of ways. Now, I'm not perfect. Don't get it twisted. I don't want y'all getting nothing messed up. In that particular area, I have grown a lot in, but I got other areas I'm working in. But I will say I am diligent and I am pressing towards the mark and growing and developing in these areas. Okay? But that's real talk. But you got to be, you ain't going to get this talking about it. It says, not to the hearers, it says, "Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." You see what I'm saying? So you got to do it. The next time the heat's on and you in your feelings, You got to do it. You got to make an effort and use some of your willpower to do this. The Holy Spirit's going to help you, but you got to do something. And this is why you see a lot of people, they never change. They full of the word. They full of talk. They can talk a good game, but you don't never see no footwork. Because at the end of the day, the growth happens where the pain is. Like, you got to go into the pain to bring the growth. No pain, no gain. You could study about lifting weights. You could buy all the weightlifting supplements. You can learn all the exercises and have it down. You can know how muscles work and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to get in the gym and you're going to have to let that lactic acid flow into the muscles and feel that burn from that lactic acid. And you have to go through the pain in order to gain. And this is true spiritually too. But people are not making the connection. And this is why I did a video a while back talking about Catholic Hebrews. Man, the bulk of people in this so-called Hebrew Israelite thing, they are no different from Christians. Because in the heat of the battle, when it's time and you're emotionally charged and you in your feelings, or this temptation comes for you to do what you've always done, you won't go through the discomfort of doing what's right. You just will make an excuse and continue doing what you know you don't need to be doing. Y'all put a 100 in there, chat, if y'all feel what I'm saying. Okay? And I said, I just want to send this thing down the middle, man. Because like I said, I'm like, man, folks be fully in their emotions looking at stuff. And me, like, in turmoil or whatever, I'm looking, man, I ain't listening to what you saying. I'm not. Like, if you talking, I'm probably tuned out. I'm watching your footwork. How are you moving? You see what I'm saying? Are you about book? Are you about bringing forth book? Or are you about you and your carnal nature and your feelings and emotions? All right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I think I got some more here. I wrote here, people will be mad when you're laser focused. We have to stay focused. This is spiritually, and this is just in life in general. You have to. I watch so many people get deceived, y'all. Y'all don't get it, man. The fight. This is where the fight's at. You have to stay focused on what's important, on the essentials, and you got to cut out the BS. And like, man, I can be very mission oriented and goal oriented. You got to stay focused on what's essential. And man, because Satan, man, he not playing. He playing for keeps. Like he trying to take you out in the most subtle way possible. Satan, look, most people, when Satan takes them out and they die, they don't even know. Even as they pass on into eternity, they don't even know what got them. That's how he want to get you. He want to take you out without you even knowing he got you. He don't want to be like, gotcha. He don't even want that, even when it's too late. Okay? Let's see. So I definitely see y'all get what I'm saying. I'm telling you, man, y'all think it's not a game, man. Bernard said, indeed, simple footwork. It's simple. It's simple, but it don't feel good, man. You see what I'm saying? It is simple, but it don't feel good. And a lot of people, they shy away from discomfort. Sometimes you got to learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Trivial things, you have to, a lot of people focus on trivial things, and there's many trivial things. The things that are trivial are many, and the vital things are few. And you have to use this brain that Yah gave you to focus on the vital things, on the essentials, and eliminate the trivial things. And guess what? There's gonna be hurt feelings. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be uncomfortable. But in the long term, you will have life and have it more abundantly in the long term. You need to, I wrote this, ask the right questions about where you're spending your time, energy, and effort at. Like, this is huge, y'all. You really, like, I had to do it. I had to do a time, energy, and effort audit on myself. I have to do it from time to time. And I have to go through, do that audit and be like, this person got to go. I need to distance myself from them. I need to cut this thing out of my life. You see what I'm saying? I need, boom, you got to do it. Because if you're not vigilant, you will be distracted, and you'll be that person that says, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. I go to Shabbat. I'm up at Shabbat at Straightway every Sabbath. I'm up there. And I praise and worship. Excuse me. And, you know, I do this, that, and the other. And you're deceiving yourself. You're just a hearer of the word. And from feast to feast to feast, there's no difference in you. And I use the feast as a milestone, as a marker. Like, okay, where was I at last feast? Okay, I was wrestling with this. You know, I know I've grown here. It's like, wow, I'm totally different in these areas. You see what I'm saying? That's what I like when I'm up here at the feast. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, man, I remember, you know, because it's like you're setting up your tent and you're doing this stuff you do each feast, and things begin to come to mind. Oh yeah, I remember this, that, and the other. You know, I remember I was doing this. Boom, and it's like, wow, I progressed from that. You know, just looking and making sure I'm moving forward. What? One footstep at a time. Now, I'm not focused on some big goal. I'm focused on the next footstep. Boom. What do it mean? What does that look like in the spiritual? Don't get focused when conflict arises, when you're in the furnace of affliction and you're in that situation. Focus on that situation. Try to handle it correctly. One situation at a time. Don't stay focused. Don't get distracted. That's how it might look in the spiritual. That might be a whole nother show that I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Or that would be beneficial if I did. You see what I'm saying? So, all right. Let me see. Trivial. And like I said, small, consistent steps. You need to. I'm gonna give y'all a big one. I got this off this thing I was listening to this morning. You have to do less. Y'all don't hear me. Hold on. Hold on. Make sure this is locked in. I want y'all to see me when I say this because I'm looking at y'all. You have to do less with more effort. Chat, do you understand me? Let me know if you understand what I'm saying because it's that important. You have to do less, but with more effort. A lot of y'all, there's too much, it's too complicated around you. You're listening to too much crap. You're watching too much crap. You're around too many crappy people. You're doing too many crappy things. You're too complicated. I'm literally boiling, like with me, what I got going on, I got my life almost boiled down to like two things that are the priority, and everything else is kind of secondary. You have to do less, but with more effort. Okay? Y'all let me know if that makes sense, all right? All right, let me see. Y'all bear with me. Get back to my notes here. So small, consistent steps. Okay? Here go another one. I want y'all to hear this, man. Okay? Because this is a big one. And I watch this get people a lot. Okay? I watch a lot of people give up what matters most for things that matter least. You can't give up what matters most to make room or time for what matters least. That's how I'm looking, bro. And look, that you will go ask around about Michael Israel. You gonna find there'll be people who like, oh, he this, he that. Because look, I'm ruthless with my time. I got to work my salvation out with fear and trembling. Or we could put this just on a daily level where you're trying to achieve goals. And you got to get focused and prioritize. And you can't be sitting there consumed with stuff that matters least, and you're sitting there giving up what matters most. So again, a lot of people going into this lesson, you are going to have to do a spiritual audit, a self audit, and a life audit, and look at you. And a good way to do it is literally write it down on paper. Does this matter? Does this matter most or least? Like, do I even need to be concerned with this? Boom, boom, boom. Let me know if that makes sense to y'all. Okay? All right, let's see what's Oh, here go one. Spirit of fear here. Or this is either spirit of fear or pride. Doing things because you can't say no. You're doing things because you can't say no, because you're afraid to say no, or because you got pride, and when you can say, I can do it, I'll commit to it, it makes you feel good. It's something I'm working on. Doing things because you can't say no. Man, no is about to be like people going to be thinking that's all I say. Like, you say anything besides no? No. So the thing is, if you can't, I said it earlier, if you can't prioritize your life, someone else will. Something else will. and you're gonna be serving something else, because the Most High got what He needs you to be doing. But again, a lot of people unknowingly are deceived. They serving Satan. So, you know, there's a righteous way to say no, and then there's a prideful way, a prideful, wicked way to say no. This is heavy. I want y'all to listen. The righteous way to say no is to just tell somebody straight to their face, no, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I don't got time. Well, why? Why? You're not doing nothing right now. I'm thinking. No, I don't have time because I'm gonna be thinking at that time. Whatever. Prioritize yourself. But the unrighteous, prideful way of saying no is saying, yes, I could do it, and then you don't do it. Now, I know things happen and sometimes people, but when that's literally who you are and your identity, it's a problem. It's very evil because people can't count on you. So you don't want to take on too much out of pride. Am I your enemy because I come and tell you the truth on these matters? You know what I'm saying? Am I your enemy because I'm coming and trying to come straight down the middle? Y'all, I'm telling you, man. I'm trying to let y'all know. Look, check this out, y'all. This, like, the depths of damage that the Greco-Roman beast system, the mother of harlots, that beast, the Roman Catholic system and Christianity, everything, like, it's like even your conception of what Yah is, serving Yah is warped into thinking it's like Candyland, sugary sweet. Oh, shalom, and oh yeah, bless you. Yeah, that's a part, but the bulk of it is, bro, you gotta be assertive. You gotta be, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, there's a handful of people that I look up to. I like being around. You know what I'm saying? That are assertive. They gonna you you don't have to second guess what they thinking for 1 second. You know what I'm saying? They're just straight up dudes, straight up men. I'm trying to tell you, it's not what y'all think. Like, why am I saying that? Why is it like that? Why there's a Bible verse, the Lord is a man of war, Yahuwah is his name. You go on and on through the Bible about the military warfare analogies, just the tough, assertive nature of what's in that word. If you don't see it in there, when it comes time to stand on book, you're gonna see it. So we got to become like this docile, passive, aimless, tiptoeing through the tulip spirit. Y'all, that it ain't gonna work, man. That's not what this is. Like, yo, you start looking at this book, man. It's no joke. It's gonna make a man out of you one way or another. It's gonna make you in a good way, but it ain't gonna be all. You know what I'm saying? All right. Somebody asked me a question. Let me go answer this question. Where was that? Okay, here it is. How do we keep our children entertained during the dead season? Well, Mike is a staunch advocate of child labor. I'm just playing. I'm sure that'll be the sound bite on some of these videos going out. See, I told you. See, you heard what he said. You know, but no, like our children, we keep our children busy now. Madison and Samantha and the other girls here, Ari, Talia, all them. Like now they'll watch TV, but guess what? Like a lot of times I'll tell them, look, if you got that TV on, during these hours, it needs to be something educational. So they're watching stuff on midwives, hair care things, health things, how to cook things that are grain free, a ton of crocheting videos. If y'all were at the Feast of Tabernacles and you went by the Straightway Nashville Children's Table, them girls is making like stuffed animals and daggone sharks and sewing crocheting all types of stuff. We getting ready to get them into sewing. There's plenty of work to be done around the house. I'm training my daughters up on marketing. They're learning how to like make like brochures and advertising stuff for the business, for household herbs, all that. There's plenty. Now, if you are living according to the way the word tells you to live, and how does the word tell you to live? You gather yourselves together. You know what I'm saying? So we live as a home assembly. So we have sisters up in the house. The sisters don't work. They stay home and, they're around the children and they get them involved in the day-to-day things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons I started the channel Straightway TV was for children, where children can come in as we amass more content, and that's something else I'm going to be training my daughters on, is making content and getting it on that channel. And as we increase that, that'll be an alternative source of media. But at the end of the day, you do want to minimize the amount of media that they're consuming. Our children don't have any cell phones or computers. The computers that they do have access to are heavily managed. Like we have a computer in our room, so they want to get on that. We're right there. We can see the screen, and they're doing something that they were instructed to do. I'm just telling you, what you don't want to do is give a teenager or a child a cell phone. You don't want to give them unrestricted access to the internet. That's a better way to say it. Because you are literally giving the enemy full access to your child. Like that is what the media is. That is the most crucial thing. And that can be a very intense battle to fight sometimes, to get that ground back. But that was a good question. Let's see. What are some good things to do in this dead season? Well, like I said, in the dead season, here in this assembly, we get busy in the dead season. Spiritually, we're charging harder. I talked to the saints here in Straightway Nashville and told them, hey, like the videos I'm going to be doing on this channel, y'all make sure y'all check them out, because I'm really coming down the middle with them. And then also just economically, we're going to be getting busy as far as working harder to develop the business, and also fixing all the vehicles up, stuff like that. There's always plenty to do. You just have to be organized and structured with how you're going to go about and do it. And, make sure people stay engaged and don't get distant and don't get idle. The worst thing you can do in the dead season is become an island unto yourself, or getting your feelings and just Start quieting down and becoming distant, and let Satan take you out in the deep water and drown you before you even know what the hell's going on. See, that happens to a lot of people. You want to stay locked in spiritually, number one. You want to be, like in this video right here, I went through a lot of stuff that you could be working on to really grow. Like I really got granular with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see what else y'all saying here. See if y'all got any other questions. Okay. Yeah, somebody said fundamentals for the foundation. I like that. I like that. That's a good one. Somebody said working, really helping family, getting things done, finish projects. Okay. I think that's what they're going to be doing in the dead season. Hard work, determination. Hard work, determination, discipline, faith, truth. Okay, got you. What is that scripture? What is that scripture says when you get the finger pointed at? What is that? Oh, I think it's in Corinthians. It says, servants, be obedient to your masters, even the froward. So just look that up in YouTube, or somebody will post it in here in the comments. Okay? Yeah, I be saying that one all the time. Makes sense. I bought. Somebody said, so check this out. I'm going to give y'all something else too. This is going to be real good. Somebody said, makes sense. I bought a daily planner for that very reason. Okay. Yeah, and you want to set goals and remember to break the goal down into steps and then break the steps into habits. And don't make your focus looking at the goal. Make your focus focusing on that habit or that step. So your focus, okay, I want to grow spiritually. Okay, I need to make boom. And you just want to break it all the way down to the smallest factor and focus on that. And then when you look up at the end of the month or at the end of the 2 months or whatever, you're going to see how far you came. Okay? So don't be like you got a journey. You got to go way over there. There's a big flagpole way in the distance. And you got to get over there through rocky terrain or something like that. You're not going to be walking, looking at the flagpole, seeing if it get closer. You're going to get discouraged. You need to be looking down at your feet, watching your step, make sure you don't step on a rock wrong, and just focus on that. And every now and then look up to make sure you're going towards it. And you're going to see, oh, I got a little closer. You're going to look back down, continue taking each step to make on that rocky territory to make sure you're taking the right steps. You want to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So that's what's up. Let's see what y'all say. Okay, I see y'all getting it. Y'all definitely receiving it. Hallelujah. Okay. Community, customs, culture. I think that's what you're saying there. So yeah, so hopefully what I said makes sense. I mean, man, that I can't believe how quick that time went by. That was an hour and a half almost. But I definitely appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Appreciate y'all. Definitely share this video. Send it to somebody so they could get some understanding. Subscribe to the channel. And with that said, shalom, shalom.